That's fine with me. Let's do it that way again. You guys okay with that? I'm sorry. I thought that was only going to be a Pirates issue. Alright. Lego Indiana Jones. Lego Game Classics has finally returned, everybody. I hope that's okay for you guys. And yes, this is also back on. This is back on YouTube, so hopefully there's not any confusion there. So what we're doing, guys, going through all the Crystal Skull campaigns. Parts 1, 2, and 3. I must say there might be a little interruption in the stream, as there always is. I don't know why, but for some reason they make you play through the Crystal Skull stuff first. Probably because the last game covered the other movies, right? Makes sense. Alright, this is the introduction to open world in LEGO game. What one you hit this for, though? So obviously you got 100% these hub rolls as well, but that'll be for another time. Definitely won't be this stream, of course. Oh, there we go. Alright, forget that banana then. So yeah, I do hope you guys can hear like the music and stuff. I'm sorry that we still gotta deal with that sound. I don't know what causes that. Yeah, Lego Game Classics has made its comeback. My understanding, this is considered one of the worst Lego games ever made. And don't get me wrong, I understand why. But honestly, guys, I kind of have a little bit of a fondness to it. I understand it's basically kind of the same thing it's a little more formulaic than the others. It's a little more of a testing the grounds Lego game more so than it was like an actual like. I understand they were trying new things with Lego. This was the first attempt, kind of like with the Skyward Saga, where they tried to change the formula, kind of thing. And it didn't work out well. You know, like Harry Potter kind of mixed the two together. They kind of mixed what worked about Lego Star Wars and all that and this together. And it worked out better for them. Thing is, they use the same homeworld for every like thing. So. But I do want to say one of the issues with this Lego game, guys, and I'll admit this, is this they don't these levels do not feel like actual levels outside of maybe one a campaign. And since we're in Act 1 of Crystal Skull, this one does. This does like feel like a level. I'm gonna do a ranking of the levels, by the way, which will be very interesting when we do that tier list for the ranking of the levels. But another thing that doesn't it kind of is sad about this is there's no free play. Now don't get me wrong, these levels aren't like, you know, this feels like a level, of course. But yeah, you can't really like explore this with like other characters, you know. You can't like do the whole thing where you could maybe bring in Sabato and Indiana Jones in this level. You know what I mean? Now, one thing I do like about Indiana Jones in this game is I do like this like animation with his whip where he can like swing it around like this. Well, in the other game, you just kind of whip once and that's it. I do like that. Then, of course, we have Mac, played by the character where Ray Winston played, of course. Fun little fact, he's just like the other guy in Raiders. I guess I just something I thought I'd bring up there, but yeah. You see him a lot, by the way. Thing is, it doesn't work like it did in the last game. You have to kind of target where you're going with the whip, and you know, it's not like where you just have like a little platform and the whip kind of just has everything done for you. You know, you have to kind of do the work with it this time in this game. Another thing this game gets crap for is obviously, you know, this is that it focuses more on Crystal Skull than it does the original movies, which is true. We're not going to do that anytime soon, the original movies, but they just got 3 acts to themselves, basically. And Crystal Skull gets 3 acts to it dedicated to one movie, and that's something a lot of people took issue with. Especially since, I guess, especially nowadays, this movie is very universally hated. And obviously, I don't think we're ever going to get the third Lego Indiana Jones game that covers Dial of Destiny, which, to be fair, Dial of Destiny isn't popular at all. You know, Crystal Skull has like its little. That had hype going into it, at least. You know, that had something. And its legacy has not been very nice to it, like the Star Wars prequel trilogy has, but, you know. Now, I'm going to be honest, though. I do think this isn't as bad as some of the stuff you see today, like Star Wars sequel trilogy. I think this is right there with Force Awakens. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just fact. It's right there with Force Awakens. And then I do think it's better than Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, of course. I don't know if this is the actual like theme or not, guys. I couldn't tell you if this is like the actual theme. By the way, I think you can just get everything because this game doesn't have free play, so I think you can just get everything and then that's like one go around. All right. But I think that this game didn't understand like kind of what made Lego games fun in that regard. When you did that basically. There we go. I thought it worked like that. There we go. But yeah, Lego Harry Potter I think did a better job at putting the two things together. What worked about those with this game because I think at the time obviously it was the worst Lego game, but there were people who could respect. You know what? There are things that maybe if you can improve on, and Lego Harry Potter did that. Now, what's funny is after that, I don't know. I think Lego Harry Potter was mainly well received. I mean, a lot of people consider Lego Harry 1 through 4 like one of the best Lego games. So, and obviously it's been remastered and stuff, but obviously they kind of went more for. What's funny is Lego Star Wars 3 and Lego. Another thing this game that's cool is you can actually get 2 objects at once. You couldn't do that in the last game. And Lego Pirates kind of went back to the old formula. So that's something I found interesting. But Lego Star Wars 3 has only gotten better with time, and Lego Pirates was not well received. It has kind of had a bad reputation. Again, kind of like this, Pirates of the Caribbean's not popular. Their sequels have gotten better with time, but they kind of put that Lego game based around the 4th movie coming out at the time, On Stranger Tides, that I think didn't even have a tie-in game because of it. Like its own CGI animated tie-in game, like the one we played not too long ago, Outworld's End, and I think that's ultimately what resulted in kind of that game's reputation not being very good, as they kind of marketed it around that movie. I think that Lego TT Games thought It's like ultimately what I thought. I think they thought because they think they were the saving grace the Star Wars prequel trilogy made in some way, or that game was still the Lego Star Wars video game, their first success. They thought maybe, just maybe, game like this can get away with. Maybe this can give Crystal Skull, which I think it does in some ways. Even though I'm going to tell you right now, that this game does make some stuff up with Crystal Skull. It doesn't exactly tell the truth. And when you get to the original movies, don't get me started. It barely tells the truth of those movies. Which, hey, those got their own games, so that doesn't matter. But still, this game just kind of messes around with humor. It's not really. But yeah, I do like how you can just kind of do like a, cowboy whip thing with Indiana Jones. I do like that they added that. So like I said, this game isn't the worst thing ever. In terms of like Legos, I think it's better than. I mean, it's not a lot, but I definitely think it's better than Lego Movie 2 video game. I haven't even finished that game, and I just think that game has a lot of problems. So it's definitely better than Lego Indiana Jones. I'm sorry, Lego Movie 2 video game. Probably the first one too, and I'm not crazy over that one. I haven't played it in years. Like I actually looked up not too long ago the game. I forgot that the master build like stuff is green. I think that comes later with the boss fight. I think we gotta be careful because yeah. You guys remember the movie? Obviously, that's a magnetized box, which actually I don't think is bad. I think there's some things about Crystal Skull that works. They just don't give it credit because other stuff like the jungle sequence and stuff with monkeys and all was rather embarrassing. But yeah. I'm trying to think what else this is better than. It's not the worst Lego game ever. I'll tell you that much right now. It's not the worst Lego game. There are worse Lego games. Like I said, it's better than. Alright, what was everything that came out? I usually think all the 2011 games are better. I think Pirates is actually on par with this one, to be honest with you. Maybe be fair. Maybe this could be a hot take, but I think this game's on par with the Skywalker Saga. I mean, you think about it. Short levels, a lot more focus on the hub world. Maybe it's a little bit different in that game because they're all connected rather than they're all separate in this game. But I think this game and that Lego Skywalker Saga have a lot in common. They kind of put a lot of stock on the sequel trilogy. Not really. I don't think it's as bad as maybe some would say. Like, I think they try to give a lot of love to all of them. But I mean, I think they realize maybe the original trilogy generation is getting older. So I think they give a fair amount of love to the prequel fans as well. But, maybe even more so than the other games did. But anyway. I think there's no free play in this game. And we still got money to collect, so. Why are sunglasses still on? Alright, I'm gonna explain this to you guys in a minute. Here's Han Solo. That guy looks Asian. That guy don't look like he's Russian. Alright. Let me go over here so I don't get grenaded. Alright, so by the way, this is the janitor from Lego Batman. What the hell? Alright, let me go over here then. So if you remember, this is the janitor from Lego Batman, everybody. I think I told you he may have had a hat in Lego Batman, but since Indy was kind of by himself in this part in the movie, they made up a character to have for the second player. This guy's not even in the movie. They completely made this guy up. The janitor from Lego Batman. Now, in the handheld version, let me plug my controller in. In the handheld version of Lego Indiana Jones 2. Well, one, in the handheld version of Lego Indiana Jones 2, guys, it's actually supposed to be, the keeper guy, the guy who put the Ark away in Raiders, which they actually kind of use him for that in this game. They have him do that instead of him. But to be honest, what are we doing? Because there ain't no way that guy would still be alive by the time the events of Crystal Skull, considering. I bet you could even look up the actor on IMDb. He probably wasn't even alive for the filming of Crystal Skull. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. I think the only other time that this came around to be successful again for Lego, where they can make other movies better, is Jurassic World. Which, hey, I don't think Jurassic World's a bad movie. I think Jurassic World's a good, alright, fun enough movie. And I kind of like what they do with them. Ugh, God damn, this guy with his grenades is crazy. And that guy could just throw a grenade anywhere. I feel like all this could have just been cutscenes. Like, do we really need to have a made-up character? Or I mean, he's not really made up. I guess he is from the Lego Batman games, but a character from another continuity in this. I guess this is kind of confirming Lego multiverse stuff right here, but It's still important you collect every stub, by the way, guys, even if we got True Adventurer. Especially since we're up against the Hub World guys. It's a little bit different in these LEGO games. You know, if you look at the animation, I'm not going to get close to him because he actually uses the whip animation with the chain from the first LEGO Indiana Jones. Alright. Pretty sure that took people out in the movie. We didn't do this 3 times. Like they did do this in the movie, but that took people out. You know, I just thought of an idea here, actually. Alright, these games are getting ridiculous at this point. Like, that wouldn't have... People can't survive that. He was the guy sitting right next to Indy in the movie. But yeah, we have unlocked the janitor. Alright, well this isn't important right now. We'll continue story here. But yeah, just like LEGO Complete Saga, you unlock everything once you... Well, you unlock that, you know, the original... You can do original, trilogy stuff now, but... No, we're just gonna do Crystal Skull today. That's why I replayed LEGO the first game last night, because that kind of represents a more accurate representation of the original trilogy as well. And considering they gave this game 3 acts, it gets stuff wrong, but at the same time, it gets stuff right too. Like, this guy's not supposed to be here, but... Alright, I'll pause it, so we can act... Well, usually there's a timer, but that's when you're replaying it, and they want you to beat... It's annoying, but they want you to beat the time every time you replay this stuff, which is weird to me. Like, you can't just play this stuff... But whatever, is what it is. So... I think a better version of this that more fits the continuity of the movie is that we bring... I don't remember the guy's name that we fought, but he's knocked out and dizzy, and he's the second player here. And then he just gets separated when the thing blows up. Like, that doesn't even... I don't know why we completely made up a character. And all the other stuff back at the hangar could have been cutscene. Like, we didn't need to, you know... But yeah. But here we go, guys. Here we go with another short level. Like I said, you're going to find out right now how short these levels really are. And yeah, they, if you've seen the movie Crystal Skull, these are supposed to be mannequins, as this is a test zone. This is supposed to be like a nuclear test zone, so those are mannequins that are supposed to represent... I guess they did this in the 50s. Fuck it. Hopefully we can get something else, because I can't get that. But in the free play, they kind of turn these into zombies or something. I guess they kind of weird how they get into like AI stuff, but which hey makes sense. Crystal Skull did introduce Indiana Jones to sci-fi, so it was no longer religion stuff at that point. And when we get to Crystal Skull, they turn Indiana Jones into science fiction. And we didn't go back with Dial of Destiny. We went to they introduced time travel to Indiana Jones. So you can't say that we just went back for the last movie, because which honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Aliens makes more sense. Time travel does not fit Indiana Jones. Like, that does not make any sense. Alright, like, I understand some of the maybe context surrounding that, but come on now. That wasn't. Aliens kinda in conspiracy theories, that kinda fits the mold with Indiana Jones. Time travel just does not. I don't really understand what we were doing there. Alright, whatever. Forgot that stud, forget it. I don't care. Hope that one blue stud downstairs doesn't keep us from getting the true adventurer. So I guess this is going to be a kind of level. Oh my goodness, I just realized we're only 40 minutes in. That's crazy. Well, these levels only get shorter from here. So yeah, you can't really collect like artifacts or the mailboxes, like which would represent the red bricks. Like, all that's just not here. They kind of do that in the hub world, but yeah, all that's just missing. Yeah, they really went away from what people liked about these games. You know? I'll admit this game does get a little silly in some places. We'll get into that later. In terms of what's inaccurate and accurate so far, this is accurate right here. Indiana Jones did go to a nuclear test zone after he escaped. Just, we didn't have a made-up character with us. That's the only thing that's inaccurate. There we go. But yeah, I used to think that I remembered there was a timer in this level, but no, and honestly, that makes sense to have a timer. Because in the movie there was a timer. Alright, I'm not gonna destroy that. Alright, we got that. Alright, let's get out of here. Not gonna lie, in the movie, this was like a last result. So it's kind of silly that in the movie, here in the game, the refrigerator's where we go. Nuke the fridge. That was actually a meme, by the way. Nuke the fridge. No, it wasn't a meme. It was something else. But, you know, they did have memes back in 2008. That's how you lose your job. Oh, yeah, what happened to the janitor? Oh, well, there he is right there. But, really, though, what happened to him? So he just upped and vanishes. I mean, I see he's back there, but... Alright. This one's just going to be kind of a brawl. This isn't going to really be like a level. I'm going to be honest, this did not need to be a level. Like, we got out here pretty fast in the movie. Like, this... Alright, let's try not to fight too fast. There we go. It's funny that we're playing the actual Star Wars theme rather than the made-up Indiana Jones one that they did in the first game. So they do have that. Alright. By the way, this level just takes place as one room. So you can't hit these guys, you gotta whip them up and then take them out. But yeah, the movie, they didn't even do anything in there. Here, why are we even making this level? But this is the Act 1, and this is the bra section, so... Yes. Each of these has a bra, each of these has a shorter level, each of these has a level that feels like a level, I guess is a better way to put it. Some of them mix them up a bit. Put two together, but... And they all have vehicle levels, which is not something we had in the last LEGO Indy, but we do here. And I did forget that, yes, we have Mutt Williams, who does not have a knife in the game and has a wrench instead, which wrench combat is so much better in the first game. That's another thing I think they do better is wrench combat. It's just like a quick... But anyway, let's get going. But you know what? I'm not going to lie. I know people... This is going to be a hot take. I don't mind the Mutt Williams character. You know, I don't really like what we did in the last movie where we just kind of offed his character. Because we just didn't need to do that, you know? Just felt unnecessary. And they both got motorcycles, which in the first game... Alright, I might not even try to get the true Jedi here. I'm sorry, not true adventurer. Because, alright. First of all, you got to get a car. Because this just doesn't work, I don't think. Alright, Mutt Williams was the one driving the motorcycle. I will drive a motorcycle until we get a car, of course. But these aren't like your everyday vehicle missions. These are just run around in a motorcycle till you get what you need to get. I don't like it when you did that. I think this should have been a vehicle mission. Whatever this is, it's not it. Alright, first wave is fine. I don't care. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. He took out my car with that. Ugh, these are kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong. This level's more accurate than the last one, but ugh, this is just not. This ain't fun. This would have been a lot better if it was just two players on one motorcycle. Honestly. Okay, back to being inaccurate. Whew. I admit though, we just hit the hour mark, so we're getting about to be done with Act One. So, all right, a couple things to mention here. This almost 100% did not happen in the movie. Indy did get on a train when he first met Mutt, but that was before the cafe. Second, they traveled by plane to Peru, not by train. So this is and yeah, they definitely had to deal with anything like this, which this is 100% something you see in a cartoon. They wouldn't have put this in the movie. Anyway, so this is what they call the big boss fight portion. Shit. Oh well. We tried. I might have been too late though, guys. I do like that we kind of have more interactions with stuff, unlike the first game where it was a little all just kind of self-contained. It's a little more open this time, but I still would have preferred better levels. Because, like, you even are kind of seeing, like, with the last three especially, there isn't really much to the levels. Oh well, we didn't get it. Alright, that is Act 1 of the Crystal Skull. I completely forgot about this. Oh my god, we're putting credits at the end of these two. Really? Oh my god. Really? I can't believe we're putting credits at the end of, like, the first act of a movie. That's ridiculous. That's not even like the full movie. I will do the play the credits when we get when we're done with Act 3. Really? All right. All right. Well, that's Raiders, which we'll get to another time. Oh, that's something we'll do completely another time. And finally, there we go. All right, 20%. That's not that bad. So let's open up, see how we've been doing. All right. So it took us 17 minutes to get through that level, which that's the full level, so that makes sense. This music's making my TV kind of staticky, not liking that. Then we have Doomtown, which took 10 minutes. That had a little more to it. That's not a level, it was just a brawl. That took 13 minutes, mainly because you get all the studs, but that's the vehicle portion. And then there's your crane sequence, which was the big boss. And I think there's actually a mini boss too, so that part wasn't a part of this. So there's a mini boss and there's a big boss part. So yeah. Yeah, that's the only characters we got unlocked were story characters. But see, here's the thing: it's all just in this one little section. You know, they everything's just like self-contained. You know, it's not like all big part of one big like. Now, bit of a hot take, but I do kind of like this like thing here where it's all the characters kind of go to like this. You know, I kind of like this in the game. How all these characters are kind of they got them standing outside of like a box and stuff. But the problem is they're all self-contained. They're not like part of, especially Crystal Skull, which is 3 parts of a movie. Like the fact that all those are kind of separate, not good. But part 2 I'll get to in a minute, guys. So be with you guys here in just a second. Let me, I guess, mute my TV. I don't think you guys will be able to see that, but yeah, it's making my thing static. So Could take a little breather, not too long, but a little breather, guys. So hold up, where's my? There it is. So we'll get to part 2 here in just a second. Hope you guys could hear that okay. I'm not gonna probably ever to know, but be right back, guys. Alright, yeah. Sorry, guys. That is a little rough music, isn't it? Well, at least you guys can hear it. I think hopefully it's not that bad when we get into the levels, though, right? So I hope not. Well, they did show a plane right there. Are they implying that they did go on a plane too, I guess? Alright, so now we're in a new hub world. I like how he didn't even have to do anything, we just walked there. Well, I never actually finished when I was telling you guys about which Lego games it was worse than. Here we go again. Alright, so this is the shorter level. And again, this did not need to be a level. I don't even know if we even need to include this. Like, why did we get to where we were adding every little thing that happened in the movie? I don't know. This is where it's ridiculous. Like, but yeah, this isn't the big level. This takes the place at the shorter level, of course. Like the nuclear test zone, but still, man. Ugh. But yeah, they didn't even do much here in the movie. So I don't know why this is a level. This game really made the strangest things in the levels. Oh, okay, guys. I do like how we can kind of do stuff like that. with the whip, unlike what we did in the first game, where it's all just kind of through the like anything that's got the platform in front of it. But I still think there's issues with this game. So yeah, there are some things that this game does better in the first. Alright, I will not deny there are things this game does better in the first. It just could have had better levels. That's all I'm saying. Which, I mean, I guess the original trilogy is a little more passable because, you know, they already had that, but still. And none of those levels are really worthy either. Like, the levels that they do give the original trilogy just are not worth. I don't think they even live up to what the other ones were. I might even bring up the tier list when we're doing that, going through the original trilogy as well. Kind of what they were represented as in that game. There are, I think, mainly only in the Last Crusade, but there are some new there is some new territory to be explored there, but wait, hold up. Now, there's a Nightwing animation. We didn't escape there in the movie. I'm gonna try to leave all the bonus material for the. So I'm not gonna collect too much right now. I know there's like stuff to collect, but alright, this is the full level, kind of like the hangar one. Hold on, guys. I still got that thing on my computer I gotta get rid of. Yep, all these times later, it's still a problem. That I gotta deal with. Not gonna lie, as a kid, this level scared me. I did not like to play through this level. And you know, this does make sense, I'll admit. What they do make the full levels out of, I guess they do make sense to make them the levels. You're thinking about it now, especially with the 6 levels they had with all the original trilogy stuff. That nuclear thing didn't need to be a level, honestly. It's pretty cool they kind of made this haunted, though. Sorry, but I guess. Ooh. You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of like the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull soundtrack. I know not everybody's like on board with that, but I kind of like the Crystal Skull soundtrack. Alright, I don't need. Yeah, did you guys know that you can whip up your partner and kind of say they can stay with you, dragging them around, which is so stupid. There's some animation in this game I don't understand. Well, okay. In some cases, it does make sense. There's something even deeper in there then. Alright, look at that. I'm glad we did that then. Alright, see, now we're kind of getting the stuff. This feels like an actual level again. Something we have not gotten for a couple of these. Alright, here's what kind of scared me when I was a kid, guys. See this dinosaur right here? That foot looks like a real hand. Oh, okay. The down here looks like an actual hand, but I guess it doesn't look that, but it's okay. Oh, there's a couple things in this game that scared me as a kid. Well, obviously that'll be later on, but there's a couple things. See, I like that we're playing a new Lego game again. I like that we're in new territory again. See, the last few months of playing through the same old Lego Star Wars, the first Lego Indie, and Lego Bane. This may be one of the worst Lego games, but hey, it's nice to play a new one again. Alright, I just thought about it. Lego The Incredibles is also another one that's better than. I think that one's kind of offensive, especially towards the first movie. That's right, you're gonna need this later on, so might as well take it while you still can. Fun fact, everybody. Just like in the movie. Alright. Now we'll stay put. I'm honestly surprised they didn't try to make this more challenging, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, and he has to get across too, so. Oh, yeah. They still have the thing where you're afraid of certain things. Mutts is a scorpion. Phobias, that's what they're called. Indian snakes. I think everybody still has theirs from the first game they had. Willy, it's any kind of insect. I don't think there's any rats in this game. Which, that's funny. They said it with Henry Jones, but he never because he never encounters them unless you go into the first level in free play. Also, same thing. Indy, it's still snakes, but Mutt, it's scorpions. Because, which you kind of do see in the movie. He has a phobia for scorpions, so that does make sense. You know, some people say that Crystal Skull is a good adventure movie, but not a good Indiana Jones movie. Some people that defend it, that is. Wait! Alright, I think we can still get it. And... kind of a made-up character. Again. Basically, we chase this guy throughout the entire area. Again, not in the movie. Made up. They actually didn't have any issues with anybody after that he got the skull. They didn't even show it on screen. I like how we're mixing Temple of Doom soundtrack with Crystal Skull right here. Alright, and the skull actually kind of works like a torch. However, there's only one character who has a skull after this, so. Unless you do it in the creative levels, but that's really it. But you still have torches in the game. Oh, see, you even go through the spiders with that. Which, I don't believe anybody really has a phobia towards in the Crystal Skull line of characters. Alright. Oh, yeah, but see, you can't carry a torch in here. So that's another thing it's cool for. Alright, now it's bra time. I think they mix it up with mini boss. Or they just sprinkle a mini boss in there every now and then. I'm sorry that keeps popping up, guys. I have it plugged in, so it keeps kind of discon type of thing. Grab the rope. That scene was so stupid. I know what they were doing, but that was so stupid in the movie when they were like, grab the rope. Say grab the rope. I don't want to be touching a snake. Oh, goddamn, I'm already losing studs. Alright, we got Marion back, who his abilities aren't so different from the first game. She's a high jumper, I think. Even though, let's be honest, at her age, she probably couldn't. Yep. Well, he's afraid of spiders, too. Alright, yeah, at her age, she probably couldn't do that, but that's okay. Because, Indy and her are both older now, so that doesn't make sense. Which, they don't really age up Indiana Jones, if you think about it. He does still look kind of young in this game. I just thought about that. They don't really age him up. I think the color of the snakes are different in different games, which is interesting to me. See, how could a mutt been in the military? He hates military people. That doesn't make sense. We can use that later. Alright. Got all the studs. Good. But you kind of see how this is kind of taking the place of what we did in the cafe, which, honestly, again, in the movie we did not do too much of this. You could just whip him too. Works both ways, which, really, a pile of snakes. That's stupid. Snakes don't. I mean, they do kill people, but still, they don't do that. It's not like lava. I just thought about that. That was just so stupid. Also, this is after we got them out of the quicksand. Oh yeah, and they have a walkie-talkie character for some of these bits, it seems, as well. God damn it! Now we're losing our studs. Alright, we're done. We're done. I don't care. Alright, we can use that now. Alright, again, we did not fight Mac. I don't even think there was even a point in time in the movie where we did fight Mac. Like, he even ended up trusting him, which is so stupid in the movie, but seriously, that doesn't make any sense that we would have fought Mac. And he has a machine gun? That don't make sense either, honestly. Ugh, Lord. Oh, is that what we're doing? They betrayed him now, so... okay, that's not really how it worked in the movie. I mean, I'm not going to say that was any less dumber, but... Okay, let's keep going. Oh, yeah, now we gotta... Oh, you're gonna make me spend money, aren't you? Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. I thought so. God damn it. Well, it is cheap. That's good, especially since it's a part of the story. Oh, well, I didn't want that to happen, but it happens. By the way, that thing is useful as hell. So their monkeys are taking him on purpose, huh? Unlike the movie. Alright, I'm not getting out of this thing. I'll introduce you guys to Oxley later. But she's kind of useless without the skull. That's kind of what this whole thing is. Oh, we need to collect studs first. Sorry, guys, we're collecting studs first. So here's our vehicle level, which this makes sense to be a level, I think. I'm not gonna lie, all of Act 3 could have been one level. I'm not gonna lie. When we get to Act 3, you're gonna see what I mean. All that could have been one level. You can kind of see that right now. We're getting kind of in the climax in the movie. I'm not gonna lie, the way they did Axe in this game with the Crystal Skull is the same way they did the Hobbit trilogy. I actually think that's accurate. The way they put the Hobbit book into the whole to an entire trilogy, because the third act's literally the final act of the movie, and then the third Hobbit movie is the final 11 pages of the book. Jones. Not gonna lie, I actually cannot believe I remember how the music goes with that scene. How many times have I seen this movie? I'm just thinking about that now. How many times have I seen this movie? The fact that I remembered that. Obviously, things can't be too easy, so they are going to make you separate from having this chainsaw machine. In a little bit. Alright. Fortunately, we had to cross over to the other side, and you're not going to get that within the chainsaw machine, so. Unfortunately, you're going to have to ditch it. Alright. Alright, I don't care if it's Oxley or not. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had to get to my studs. That's why I went back. Alright, now I gotta get it again, though. Alright. Crap! Oh, shit. Not gonna lie, losing studs is not good in a level like this. Alright, I was about to say, how do I back up? Alright. There. I think it took me a little more than an hour to get done with this, though. Interesting. I just realized it's now almost at the top of the hour again. Oh my god, I just remember what the big boss is. Ugh. Not gonna lie, you could have had like a regular boss connected to like a level like this, but oh my god, what they made the boss into, guys. That is something we. Oh, well, you're gonna see it, obviously. Oh my god. Not gonna lie, my favorite boss is probably the Temple of Kali. Which is crazy. Yeah, they got weird with the boss fights in this level in this game. They ought to make this like, I don't know, it's like they want to be bigger and better or something. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to make Indiana Jones more appealing to kids. I don't know. Even though the first game I think did a pretty good job, and that was a success. I don't know why they felt they had to do that. Yeah, I thought it was pretty successful. Alright, now we gotta fight fire with fire kind of thing. I don't know if we're gonna get it just with collecting every little stud I can. That's my kind of my fears. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. All right, why don't we just take it out? I don't really care anymore. Oh, all right. All right. Yay. Whew. All right. So we finally have Oxley with the skull, which kind of is what he does, basically. All right, let me get away from here. You know what? I'm glad we got him. He's kind of funny how he runs too. But yeah, let's go run into the ants. All right, we gotta find Banana. Crap. All right, let's get with Oxley then. Let's do this with Oxley. It's better if we did it with him. Okay, let's do this. All right. Here's where things get silly. And by the way, Oxley's not really a playable character. He just you gotta kind of run around with. All right, let me try to get every stud walk. Here we go, guys. Here we go. There's the ant monster. Again, what in the who greenlit that? This is where the game does stuff that's worse than what's in the movie. All right. I think we're just gonna focus on taking this guy down. So what you gotta do is just cover anthills. Which eventually they're easy to get right now, but eventually you're just gonna have to wait for them to just come to you. You see, this could have just been a normal boss fight. Is that's basically what it was in the movie. But no, we're doing this weird thing where he's an ant monster. Alright, now you gotta cover all the anthills. Alright. Well, let's have him up fight him this time. We're not losing that cone. Alright, so all but one, basically. Okay. Damn it. Oh no, we still got it. Okay. Okay, now it turns into like, it becomes like Green Lantern. Well, look, he's like a shark now. And I think this is probably the worst boss of them all, honestly. Like, what the heck is this? Who the heck greenlit this? You know this will definitely be F tier right here, guys. Imagine if this actually was in the movie. I'm not gonna lie. Imagine if that actually was in the movie. That did happen. The ants did take him in the movie. And they did take his hat, but they didn't quite make it to the hole. Yeah, that did happen in the movie, guys. The ants did take him. I just realized how bad that was. How crazy that was that a scene like that was actually in the movie. Alright. Um. Alright, 212, and the other one was 112. Well, that's when I was starting it. So. Took a little bit longer to get through Act 2, which, you know what? That was kind of the highlights of the movie right there, so it's kind of funny. Not what I said about the Hobbit, but yeah. What the third act is, somewhere in there could have just been one level, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe you could seek out two somewhere, but really it could have just been one level. I'm not gonna lie, I'm being completely honest when I say that too. Oh, God. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. How have we get? 23, okay. That's better than this. Alright, let me open up, see how we did. All but this one, which that was impossible to get. So it took us 5 minutes to get through that one, 9 minutes to get through the full level, Brawl took 5 minutes, 15 minutes to get through the peak level, and the big boss was 4 minutes. Okay. And we unlocked five. Wait, what? Whatever. Alright, I'm going to turn the music off because it is kind of blowing in my ears. So if you don't like that, I completely understand. Alright, taking a little breather for a few minutes, and then we'll get to part 3. Alright. I'm loving playing this, honestly, so far. Alright, guys, I'm gonna unmute when I'm out of here because the music is not good when I'm in here in the hangar area. It kind of blows my TV, so we're gonna go ahead and open up first. But you got, I'm sorry that static sounds on there, which goddamn, that means it's gonna be for Lego Star Wars 3 as well. God damn it. Alright, so let's get going. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Alright. Unplug. Alright, that's the last time you're gonna see that message, guys, because I unplug. Oh, whoa. It's Mutt and Indy. Interesting. There's short round. Yeah, if you looked, short round's in there. Alright, so now we're getting a follow-up level to the last level with the ants. We basically just gotta repair our boat car, which is interesting because kind of makes up for but kind of makes up for having the ants again, even though we already kind of did that and we defeated a villain. But yeah, I guess you could say this is just like the other level, basically. Well, but yeah, this is kind of a short level kind of thing again. Or you could say this is the level, basically. Even though it said not, this did not happen in the movie. But I'll admit this one's exploring worthy, I guess. Even though it's very pointless. Alright, I'll open that up in a second. Uh, No! God damn it. We already got True Adventure. I'm not even. Huh? I didn't get that. I think we just get in. Alright, yeah. Fuck. Silly me.
Alright, vehicle level comes early. Not gonna lie, in the movie we didn't do this. I like how we're just in here together, honestly. I like that. Come on. Seriously, man. Sometimes when that turns around, it just gets annoying. Damn it. So now I can be together anymore, but that's okay. Oh, cool. They actually do get back in together. I like that we both got back in to get together. Alright, I should have probably done that while I was. Alright, don't go that way. Don't go that way. There's some weird dialogue in this movie I just remembered. Where Alex is like 3 times it drops. Okay. By the way, fun little fact. John Hurt is from the Alien movie. There can't be a coincidence that he's in this movie. Indiana Jones dealing with aliens, they cast the guy from Alien. I just thought about that. Alright, I guess those aren't real then. There we go. Alright. We can get we got the true adventure now, so we can go ahead and get everything. What the hell? Alright, let's get in there. Oh, not too much. Okay. Oh, we ain't doing that race. Oh god, I just remember the races. Mm, whatever. We'll do it when we do it. Honestly, this didn't even need to probably even be 6 levels. Now I think about it. Guess we could have made something up somewhere, but nah, the fact that it's 15 levels is crazy. Alright. Now we're doing mini boss. Alright, I'll start on this side. Why not? It does feel nice playing a new game on stream, though, I'm not gonna lie. Or, I mean, I've played this before, obviously, but just a new game on stream for once, you know? I mean, I know that's kind of the way it was with Ultimate Destruction and all that, and I don't know, just feels better, you know what I mean? Was this guy even in the movie? I don't think so. Wait, we still haven't gotten the true thing yet. I am, I guess. Well, I think we're out of studs. That's crazy. We're out of studs and we didn't even get our thing. Interesting. Alright, whatever. We didn't get it, but I think we ran out of studs though, legitimately. That's crazy. The worst part about it is we're gonna have to go back to all the levels that we didn't get it. Alright, well, there's your mini boss level. You know, when I get so locked in the game, I actually don't care that I don't have chatters, but not gonna lie though, it would be nice. Alright, we can defeat all these guys real fast. So this one I think kind of mixes on. But honestly, this whole temple thing could have been one level, I feel like. Maybe two, maybe if you want to explore it more, but seriously, it really could have just been one level. I think we are going to have to go up eventually, so. But yeah, man. This kind of puts Bra and mini level together. Last one was mini boss, which kind of did that as well, but which was kind of the first one of those levels. I feel like. Well, okay. Last one did have Mac as a mini boss, but again, I didn't. I kind of would have maybe preferred that though, maybe. See, that's why I defeat all those bad guys at once. See, we got some time now. All right, we got it. I missed when we got it, but we got it, and I'm still gonna collect all the studs just because, guys. Oof. I was locked in for that one, guys. Alright. Alright. The only one character who can do this. Ah, fuck it. We'll use. It's crazy how he had to jump up the stairs. Where did Mac even go? You see, the four of them came down. Where did he go? Also, they had to go through a couple of loopholes. It was not just this one room in the movie, which you think you actually see as you go throughout. But here we are with Big Boss number 3. Irina Spalko with powers. You know, I just realized something. Instead of these powers actually taking control of these people, they're actually giving them powers. I guess outside of Molaram, that's a little different, but yeah. Belloc gives him powers. God damn it, brother. Molaram got powers. I'm sorry. Donovan gets powers. He becomes like a tornado monster. Why? Also, why can't we have all four of them? Why does it just have to be Indy and Marion? That doesn't like. That's so stupid. There weren't really specific. This didn't even happen in the movie, so we don't have to be specific on which characters do what. Do we? I don't know. Also, this is I think that's Young Chronicles, which I don't really know why that's in the sound, especially when there's not really any like little references to that in these Lego games. I guess outside of there's a soundtrack in there, but that's really the only reference you get to it. Really, they do kind of get creative with the soundtracks on these Lego games. I've noticed, like even with the Pirates one, they put like Outworld Zen video game stuff in there. God damn it! All right, I'll stay right here. I'll just stay right here. Why not? Smart. Alright, never mind, never mind, never mind. Alright, now we gotta do this with Marion. Whew. They're doing that the opposite of what they did in the movie. Oh well. Whew. 3 times a day. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Again, I know where he is in the where he goes in the movie. Where did he go in the game? Where did Matt go? There's Marcus Brody. All right, there we go. Whew. They unfortunately do not show the wedding for some reason. But I'll let the credits roll. There you guys go. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, everybody. The worst Indiana Jones. Not really. Maybe. Some would say the new one's the worst. But yeah. I think it's alright. I know the movie's got a lot of issues. We've named them throughout. Nuke the fridge. Ants eating a guy alive. Didn't really get into the whole thing with the aliens, but that's okay. Which, I mean, that's not that bad, I don't think. I mean, that's just a CGI effect gone wrong. That's not really anything. That's just a bad CGI effect. Honestly. So yeah, I don't like the original trilogy levels in this game because I actually think they're an insult to, you know, they're an insult to the movies. This I'm okay with because they basically just tell a story, but out of order. Oh boy. I'm gonna let you guys watch the credits. Be right back, guys.
I think we could have gotten that if we had just stayed cautious, but that's okay. That's probably the one where we got the least stuff. Alright, guys. Well, and yeah, woke up. Hello to everybody on YouTube as well, of course. Alright, we'll get into this obviously another time. But yeah, we'll get to the 100%ing of everything. We've actually done pretty good with the studs, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing the stud count there. Alright, and then we'll get to the original trilogy, guys. Whenever the next time is I play this. I have no idea when that's gonna be, guys. I'm sorry, I just not really much in a streaming mood right now. But we're done. Alright. Good night to everybody on YouTube. Everybody that's on YouTube, good night.